Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. Right now, over 500 million people globally are living with diabetes. It's a condition that touches almost all of our lives in some way, shape, or form. Today, we are exploring a truly fascinating intersection of this chronic disease and cutting-edge regenerative medicine, mesenchymal stem cells, or MSCs for short. We're going to look at the biological mechanisms, dig into the latest clinical data, and have a very important reality check on where this therapy actually stands today. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the baseline diabetes challenge, meet the MSCs, see how they actually work, review the clinical data, provide a crucial medical reality check, and finally, we'll look at the future of this treatment. Section 1. The Diabetes Challenge, Understanding the Baseline. To really understand the solution, we've got to grasp the problem, right? We know that persistently elevated blood sugar damages our vital organs over time, but it happens in two completely distinct ways. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference. Take type 1 diabetes. This is basically an immune misfire. The body's own defense system mistakenly attacks the insulin-producing beta cells in the pancreas, which means lifelong insulin therapy is usually required. Type 2, however, is a different beast entirely. It's a disease of resistance. Tied heavily to metabolic dysfunction and inflammation, the body simply stops responding to insulin, which ends up exhausting the pancreas over time. Section 2. Meet the MSCs, the cellular innovation. So what exactly are we talking about here? Mesenchymal stem cells, or MSCs, are essentially the body's biological repair units. Researchers are intensely focused on them right now because they have these two unique dual action properties. First, they have regenerative capabilities to repair tissue, and second, they have immunomodulatory capabilities. That means they can actually help calm down and correct an overactive immune system. Section 3. How MSCs actually work. The conductor metaphor. So the crucial point is, to really grasp this, we need a bit of a paradigm shift. Don't think of these stem cells like, bricks being used to just rebuild a broken wall. Think of them more like biological managers or conductors. Rather than just replacing damaged pancreatic cells one for one, MSCs actually act by releasing biological signaling molecules. They're essentially shouting chemical instructions to the surrounding cellular environment, orchestrating a much healthier ecosystem for damaged tissues to repair themselves. Because of this totally unique signaling, MSCs are basically like a Swiss Army knife for diabetes management. They can calm the chronic fire of inflammation in type 2 while simultaneously modulating the overactive immune response that causes type 1. But it doesn't even stop there. These signals can actually coax surviving pancreatic beta cells to stay alive, promote the growth of new blood vessels, and potentially even boost the body's overall sensitivity to insulin. It's really incredible stuff. Section 4. What the data shows, reviewing the clinical evidence. Okay, this is a vital number, 0.72. A 2025 meta-analysis of over 500 patients found that MSC treatments reduced HbA1c levels by an average of 0.72 percentage points at the 12-month mark. Now, in the world of diabetes management, a drop of that size is incredibly meaningful. It can significantly reduce the risk of long-term organ damage. However, we do have to note that researchers found the results bounced around pretty considerably from one study to the next. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it highlights that because type 1 and type 2 are fundamentally different biological problems, the clinical results differ too. For type 1, MSCs show an ability to preserve C-peptide, which is a marker that your body is still producing its own insulin. Yet a massive 2024 review showed some mixed results. 10 studies saw glycemic improvements, while 4 saw absolutely none, mostly because the treatment protocols varied so much. For type 2, the main focus is on lowering systemic inflammation. The findings there are highly promising, but we are definitely still waiting for the massive, standardized trials needed to make those results uniform. Section 5. A crucial reality check, medical guidelines and safety. I want to slow down for a second here, because we need to be incredibly clear on this. MSC therapy is not currently a cure for diabetes. Right now, it is strictly an investigational approach. If you are managing type 1 diabetes, you absolutely cannot discontinue your prescribed insulin. And for type 2, you must maintain your prescribed medications unless explicitly instructed by a treating physician. The science is super exciting, for sure, but your current medical regimens absolutely must be strictly maintained. And medical regulators echo this caution globally. In the US, the FDA has issued explicit warnings against clinics marketing unapproved stem cell products as treatments or cures for diabetes. As focused learners, it is just absolutely vital that we separate rigorous, peer-reviewed scientific research from unproven medical marketing.
Section 6. The future of treatment beyond temporary fixes.
Let's move to and see how this builds toward the future. Because despite the need for caution, the scientific community is heavily invested here for a very good reason. The ultimate goal isn't just to temporarily lower blood sugar. I mean, we already have medications for that, right? The dream is to fundamentally heal the underlying biological dysfunctions, the inflammation, the immune dysregulation, the actual tissue damage. To cross that finish line, researchers are currently racing to answer some massive unknowns. Exactly which patients benefit the most? What is the optimal cell source and dose? And precisely how long do these regenerative benefits actually last? All of this makes MSCs one of the most exciting frontiers in regenerative medicine today. It isn't ready to replace your standard treatments just yet, but the potential is undeniably fascinating. Which leaves us with one final thought to ponder. Will MSCs ultimately redefine how we target the biological root causes of diabetes? It's a massive question that the global scientific community is working tirelessly to answer.